Okay, so I'm back again. This video is, I believe, a much needed video for young people. So it's a little bit of advice. So pretty much this video is, are you too young for goth? And I don't think there's, when you're really, really little, there could be a point where you might be too young for goth. But there are sections of goth that I find mature, and you really don't want to see a 13-year-old walking around in fetish goth clothes. So there are some aspects of goth that are for people more my age, like 18 and up, and then there's aspects of goth that you could incorporate into your life if you're a tween or a teenager, or even if you're my age and you're just very reserved, I would say, and you don't want to expose your sexual side or something like that, and that's perfectly fine. Not everybody is sexual. A lot of goth style can be overly sexualized, and not everybody enjoys that. So a few tips in this video on being young and being goth. So for me, I've always had a rule, and it was my mother's rule. If you're going to wear a skirt, you must wear stockings or shorts underneath. And of course, panties. Very important. So with the goth style, that's always been my rule: wear stockings with a skirt, because I don't want people to assume that they can just look at my crotch, because that's not cool. So mini skirts are fine, but I always pair them with striped stockings. I used to have some pretty nice tie-dye stockings. I got them at Claire's, so they were black and like jewel tone tie-dye, and I'd wear those with my big goth boots or high heels and a mini skirt. I've worn them with shorts. I've worn them under ripped pants. I've worn them pretty much anytime you can see part of my leg, I've worn them. And they add a note of like dramatic, eye-catching emphasis to your outfit. If you don't want that dramatic, eye-catching emphasis, disregard the striped and tie-dye stockings, checkered stockings, all the fishnets over top, whatever. And you can go for just white stockings or black stockings. You can find red stockings. Even in adult sizes, you can find all those. And you could wear that. If you want to layer stockings, you can. You can wear a matte colored stocking, like with no pattern or anything like that, just black, and you could find, say, maybe white, or red. It would work better if you're not looking for patterned stuff. And you can find fishnets at Shoppers Drug Mart instead of my previous idea, which was sending you to the stag shop, which under 18 you can't. So for people who are under 18 and want to find fishnets, they sell them at Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, and all that stuff. And you can get really tiny ones or really wide ones, and you can layer them over top of stuff. So it creates even more layering, so even less sexualization, even though fishnets do have that little bit of sex to them. So you really have to adjust for your age and stuff like that. But you can layer. You could wear colored stockings with black ripped up stockings over top, and then your skirt over top. You can layer tank tops, like you could wear something like this underneath a spaghetti strap tank top, and you could wear black with a red, or black and gray, or gray and black, striped shirts, stuff like that, so that you're covering your chest. And underneath, around Halloween, you can get stockings for pretty cheap sometimes. So I normally stock up every year, and you can use your old ones, don't throw them out. If they get holes in the like inner leg area and you still love them, I used to take them and just tear them and make a neck hole and cut off the feet. So you could then make your outfit even more modest and yet more gothy by having your arms covered in striped stockings. Like if I have, oh, they're not in here. Anyways, I'll have a pair of striped stockings that only go up to your thigh, but they're very, very tight. So you could wear them up here if the toes wear out, and you can just cut the bottom off. And you can add a touch of goth to your outfit and a touch of modesty as well. So really, you don't have to be into the corsets and PVC and bras showing and mini skirts with only fishnets underneath. Even though there are styles like that, and I'm not knocking them, sometimes you're too young for it, and there are ways to get around it. With dyeing your hair, sometimes parents don't want you to have colored hair, and under the age of 12, your hair isn't actually mature enough to handle a lot of bleaching and coloring. It's just a thing with your hair. You need time for it to mature and get to its strength. So 13 and over, it's a lot easier to have colors if your parents allow. Mine didn't allow until I was 15 years old, which I understand because then I was a little older, more mature, and it was my choice and not my mother's, so she didn't have these dirty looks. Sometimes your parents just don't want to do it because they don't want to be looked at like horrible people, because even though we know that being goth isn't a terrible thing, some people look at your parent and think that they're terrible because they're letting you dress this way, even though they think that it might be a phase that you might grow out of, and it might be, or it might be something that you'll love forever and be awesome and amazing, like a wonderful YouTuber, Adora Batbrat. She is nearing my mother's age, and she's the most gorgeous goth I've seen on YouTube, and really such a wonderful person. If you watch her videos, she's so sweet and funny, and obviously goth. So she's very, very much what a lot of people would strive for, and if you stay 40 and a goth, or you are 13 and you grow out of it, it's all up to you. But for this video, we're just talking about being goth and being young. So high heels aren't very good for you until you stop growing, but there are alternatives. Some companies make platform running shoes that are like this, and there's only about this much difference between the heel and the foot, and so you won't harm your growth. When your feet stop growing, that's when you should start, like if you want to, that's when you should start wearing heels, because then if you're doing any damage to them, it's not while they're growing, and you can address it. But you don't want to warp your feet while they're still in the progress of getting to maturity. So you can wear platforms. There's lots of platform boots out there, lots of platform running shoes, lots of creepers are pretty cool. None of which are overly sexualized like stripper boots, because there are a lot of goth shoes out there that look like, and then there's a big huge gap and then a platform like this in the front too. So, which you'll see a lot of on the internet, but at a younger age, not always appropriate. So platforms, a really cool outfit I would suggest for a tween is like striped stockings on your legs, skirt, sometimes like flared, maybe mid-thigh. School rules are to your fingertips or to your knees. So if you have a flared skirt, you can wear striped stockings and platform running shoes. or platform creepers or whatever, and then you could wear a t-shirt with a tank top over top and some striped arm warmers or striped stockings that you turned into a shirt. And for girls, it really helps to hold everything up here when you're younger, right? So, but yeah, jewelry, you can layer jewelry and stuff like that, and really just enjoy yourself. Be young, don't try to be more mature than you are, don't over-sexualize yourself, because people will think you're older than you are, and you might get some unwanted attention that you don't mean to get or you don't want. So if you want to be modest and look young, those are a few tips from me, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and keep it creepy, and bye.